Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that one of the most trusted assets in the world, physical silver, is suddenly harder to get than ever before. Investors, industrial users, and even collectors are starting to feel the strain, and the question on everyone's mind is whether we are on the brink of a real silver shortage. Hi, I'm your host from WealthWave, and today we are diving deep into the 2026 silver market forecast, the hidden supply pressures, and what it could mean for your wealth. Stick with me for the next few minutes because what I'm about to reveal might change the way you think about silver forever. Now, before we dive in, if you want to stay ahead of financial trends and never miss these insights, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Doing this supports our work at WealthWave and helps us keep bringing you clear, honest market analysis. It also ensures you get expert-level insights delivered straight to you, just like we do every week. This small action really helps the channel grow and reach more investors like you. Let's start with the basics, because silver has always been a dual-purpose asset. On one hand, it's an investment, a store of value, and a hedge against inflation during uncertain times. On the other hand, it's an industrial metal that plays a critical role in electronics, solar panels, medical devices, and many other technologies. Unlike gold, which mostly sits in vaults, silver is constantly moving through both investment and industrial markets. And this constant demand is exactly what's making the current situation so tense. Experts are now warning that what we're seeing may not be just a short-term fluctuation in price or supply. Instead, it could be the early stages of a real physical silver crunch. When a metal is needed, both as money and as a material, pressure can build very quickly. That pressure is starting to show right now. The numbers tell a very interesting story when you look closely. Global silver production has grown slowly over the past few years. While demand has surged at a much faster pace, industrial demand, especially from renewable energy and electronics, continues to rise year after year. At the same time, investors looking for a safe haven are increasing their exposure to silver. Solar energy alone consumes hundreds of millions of ounces of silver every single year. With green energy initiatives expanding worldwide, this demand is only expected to grow further. When you combine this with rising interest from retail investors, the supply-demand gap becomes impossible to ignore. That is why some analysts are already calling 2026 a critical year for silver. But the story doesn't stop with demand because supply itself is under serious pressure. Many silver mines around the world are aging and production costs are climbing. On top of that, geopolitical tensions in key mining regions add another layer of risk. These challenges make it harder to increase supply quickly, even when prices rise. Take the top silver-producing countries like Mexico, Peru, and China as examples. Any disruption in these regions, whether it's labor strikes, stricter regulations, or environmental challenges, can ripple across global supply chains. Physical silver is not unlimited, and it cannot be created instantly. Unlike paper silver, real metal has very real limits. And once inventory levels at exchanges and storage facilities begin to fall, prices can move fast. This is the kind of situation that often catches unprepared investors completely off guard. When physical supply tightens, premiums rise and availability shrinks. By the time the average investor notices, the market has already shifted. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Many market watchers are pointing to declining inventory levels at major silver exchanges like COMEX. These inventories have been trending lower over recent months. When this decline is combined with rising investment demand from ETFs and private buyers, the market starts walking a very fine line. Every ounce begins to matter more than ever. As the saying goes, when supply is tight, even small changes in demand can move prices sharply. This is not just a theory or a warning. History shows that similar conditions in the past have led to rapid and powerful price surges. Another important layer to consider is the role of governments and central banks. Silver is not just a commodity used by investors and industries, it is also a strategic asset that some countries hold in meaningful quantities. Any major buying or selling by governments can shift market dynamics very quickly. Inflation pressures in major economies are also pushing investors toward tangible assets. As purchasing power weakens, people naturally look for stores of value they can trust. With silver priced much lower than gold, it has become more attractive to a wider group of investors. This shift adds even more pressure to already limited physical supply. So what does all of this mean for the everyday investor watching WealthWave right now? First of all, awareness is everything. Understanding that physical silver could become harder to acquire in 2026 gives you time to think clearly and plan ahead. In markets like this, preparation often matters more than prediction. Diversifying into physical silver, ETFs, or silver-related equities can be a smart move for some investors. However, timing and research are critical, and blind decisions can be costly. This is not a get-rich-quick situation. It is more about protecting and positioning your wealth during uncertain times. Now let's bring in some expert insight to sharpen the picture. Commodity analysts are warning that physical silver premiums could rise significantly over the next 12 months. This means the price you pay for real silver may move far above the spot price. That gap often reflects real scarcity, not just speculation. Some insiders are even warning that industrial users could start facing real shortages. If that happens, manufacturing in sectors like technology and clean energy could be disrupted. These signals should not be ignored by serious investors. When industry competes with investors for supply, the market can change very fast. You might now be wondering whether this could trigger a major price spike like we've seen with other metals in the past. The honest answer is that it's possible. Constrained supply, rising industrial demand, and growing investor interest create a powerful combination. This is the kind of setup that markets rarely ignore. No one can predict exact prices or timelines. But understanding the fundamentals puts you in a far stronger position than reacting emotionally after prices jump. Informed investors move early, calmly, and with purpose. That mindset often makes the biggest difference. Here's a key takeaway to remember. The silver market today is no longer a passive or boring investment space. It is a dynamic system shaped by industrial needs, global politics, investor psychology, and physical supply limits. Ignoring any one of these factors can lead to missed signals. At WealthWave, our goal is to help you decode these complex forces clearly and simply. Watching trends, tracking inventory levels, and paying attention to policy changes all matter. These are the building blocks of a smart silver strategy for 2026. Knowledge is your strongest asset in uncertain markets. As we move toward the end of this video, remember that engagement helps us keep delivering insights like this. If you found value here, drop a comment with your thoughts or questions. Share this video with anyone you know who invests in silver or precious metals. And don't forget to subscribe to WealthWave for more clear, no-hype market analysis. Your interaction helps build a community of informed investors. It also helps this content reach more people who want real understanding, not noise. Strong communities make better decisions together, and that matters more than ever in markets like these. Looking ahead, the silver market in 2026 is shaping up to be unpredictable and potentially tense. Physical supply may tighten further while demand continues to rise. Silver's role in both industry and investment has never been more important. That combination deserves serious attention. Staying informed and making deliberate moves could be the difference between opportunity and regret. Silver is more than just a metal. It acts as a signal for global economic stress and transition. Right now, many of those signals are flashing. So take this situation seriously, but don't panic. Educate yourself, plan strategically, and stay engaged with channels like WealthWave. We focus on clarity, not fear, so you can navigate markets with confidence. Knowledge, timing, and informed decisions are the real keys to building wealth in uncertain times.